Hi there, my name is Chrissy. Welcome back to my channel, and today we're watching Game of Thrones. So before we get into the first episode, I want to do a little rundown, sort of like a little reminder to myself about where we are at in the story, some of the major plot points that have happened, and where we left off at the end of season 1. Feel free to skip to the end. I will put a code down the bottom where you can skip to get straight into the reaction. Otherwise, this is what I have learned. So we finally come to the end of season 1, and I still find it very hard to believe that they have killed off one of its main characters and let the bad guys win, essentially. So if it's going to be this easy to kill off our main characters, which in other shows, characters such as Ned Stark would be untouchable, it makes the stakes so much higher that anyone could be killed off for any reason at any moment. I mean, who would have thought that going in, King Baratheon would die from being gorged by a boar off screen on a hunting trip? Yes, he was kept suitably liquored up by the Lannister twink, but still, even his actual death was off screen. And I enjoyed Ned as a character, I really did. He was family orientated, was honourable and honest to a fault, which was his downfall because he was incredibly naive. The moment he stepped off this horse in King's Landing, basically the countdown to his death began, because from day one he antagonized all the wrong people: Jaime, Peter, Varys, and worst of all, Cersei. And between her in your face, you play the Game of Thrones or you die threat, and Peter's conniving, underhanded control of almost everything that Ned did, he had no chance of surviving. Something that I didn't notice at the time of watching was at his execution when Joffrey said to bring him his head, everyone up there reacted in a surprised manner, visibly against such an act, except Peter. He looked pretty damn happy with himself that Ned was about to get the chop. So if I had to pick anyone, it would be Peter Baelish as the main antagonist for this season, which says something because he never really outright, to us as watchers, did anything aggressive. Everything he did was so underhanded, which made him the most dangerous person. If he did this for something as small and inconsequential as his love for Catelyn, I'm going to be pissed. He needs to have a bigger reason than just a woman to do this. I'm sure he does, but so far, I don't know what his end game is, really. So aside from him and Ned, where are we left with our other characters? Cersei is sitting beside King Joffrey, helping him rule. Now, because Joffrey is the king, does that make Cersei still the queen? Or is she now known as what we would call the Queen Mother? So how does that work? She still insists that he marry Sansa in an attempt to quell the uprising in the north, is what I'm guessing, but we'll see how that goes. Beheading their lord may have been a step too far for the remaining Starks and their kin. Jaime has been taken captive by Robb and Catelyn Stark. In my reaction, I was all for killing Jaime where he stood. Strike him down where he stood. But I understand that that can't happen. As far as any of the Starks know, Sansa and Arya are still in King's Landing. And if anything happens to Jaime, then the girls' heads would most likely be added to their own spikes along with their fathers. Tyrion found his way back to his father's war camp, and although he was knocked out once the fighting had started against an army they all believed was being led by Robb Stark. He awoke, slightly worse for wear, but was appointed Hand of the King in Tywin's place and ordered to King's Landing to keep his siblings and those in court in check. Bran, after having been paralysed and nearly assassinated, is now the Lord of Winterfell, and he has been having dreams or visions, which apparently his younger brother Rickon is also having. What these will lead to, I'm not too sure. At the moment, they seem to be about his father, but we haven't delved too deep into those, and if they even mean anything. So Sansa is still betrothed to Joffrey, and I noticed a slightly darker side emerging from her after being forced to look upon her father's severed head. So I'm interested in how her character will develop from there. She is to be the wife of the boy that killed her father in a kingdom that has branded the Starks traitors. So life for her is going to get very, very hard going forward. This is a huge change to what I first thought of her character. A girl who grew up on fairy tales and princes and princesses and lived relatively sheltered, and being enamored by this golden haired boy. Things have definitely changed for her now. Arya is probably my favourite Stark so far, despite all my thirsting after the boys. She's young, spunky, and knows that a lady's life is not what she wants. It was her direwolf Nymeria that attacked Joffrey, and I'm hoping at some stage we get to see her make a comeback after Arya made her run away. She has learned fencing, aka water dancing, from Syrio, who was killed while distracting the guards so she could make her escape. She witnessed her father's execution and is now disguised as a boy, riding with both the Night's Watch and Gendry, King Baratheon's bastard son, to the Wall. Up at the Wall, Jon Snow briefly attempted to desert from the Black Brothers after hearing of his father's death and his brother's impending war. But it was his friends that he had made there, notably Samwell, that brought him back. Commander Mormont, of course, knowing of this attempt, was understanding, but tells him that the rumblings in the north, beyond the Wall, make any of the petty wars of men in the south pale in comparison to the severity of what the White Walkers could bring them. Although he wasn't made a ranger like he so desperately wanted, he is probably now in a much better place at the side of the commander. And he was also gifted the Valyrian steel sword Longclaw from Commander Mormont, which I think is a huge honour. And then we come to our major character arc of the season, Daenerys. She starts off the season nothing more than just chattel for her brother to sell off to Drogo in exchange for an army to invade Westeros and take back the Iron Throne. Essentially, she is a kitten surrounded by vicious and horny lions. Her earlier scenes of being bedded by Drogo did disturb me, to be honest. I don't like seeing, even though I know it's a show, I don't like seeing forced, and if not forced, then sexual situations where, in this case, she had no option but to just take it. First she was owned by her brother, and now she's being owned by Drogo. At the time, I thought, well, at least one good thing came out of it. Dragon eggs, which she was gifted at her wedding. These Dany takes an immediate interest in. Over time, however, their relationship changes, and we start to see Dany exert her own agency over her own life, using her handmaidens to teach her how to please Drogo, and the two of them become a power couple that poor Viserys didn't see coming. Now angry that his once submissive sister is raising to a position that towers above him, he makes the foolish decision to threaten her and her unborn child, earning him the golden crown that he desired for so long. This child to be, Rhaego, was prophesied to be the stallion that mounts the world, the prophecy stating that he would be the Carl of Carls and all the people of the world would be his herd. Mary, the witch, having heard the prophecy, uses a dying Drogo to trick Daenerys into sacrificing his horse, but really it is her baby that is made the sacrifice to bring Drogo back to the living. Unfortunately, he is left in a vegetative state, and now not only Drogo, but Rhaego will now never terrorize the lands. In Mary's eyes, two birds with one stone. Absolutely distraught, Dany decides to smother Drogo, seeing as how he will never get better, to put him out of his misery. And she constructs an enormous funeral pyre for him, lays him out on it, bounds the witch to the side, and lays out the 3 dragon eggs with him. Jorah, believing that Daenerys is about to sacrifice herself and burn to death, pleads with her not to do so. But we all know by now that that is not how it is going to end. After letting the remaining Khalasar decide whether they want to stay or go, she lights and climbs the pyre. In the morning, after the flames have died out, Drogo and Mary are nothing but ash. We find that Daenerys has indeed survived and has birthed 3 new baby dragons. The first dragons seen in over a century. Those that remain bend the knee to her, proclaiming Daenerys to be their queen. I was initially confused as to why the eggs hatched after all these years. Just extreme heat would have been done a long time ago if that had worked. So it couldn't have been something that simple. Now, I scoured the wikis and other people's blogs and videos, and I couldn't find a definitive answer as to the exact reason why now these eggs have hatched. But what I did find were basically 2 schools of thought and a lot of opinion. On one hand, we have the thought that it was Dany burning the pyre, raging flames, and the sacrifice of Mary, Drogo, and herself that were the catalysts to these eggs hatching, sacrificing them to bring the dragons to life. The only hitch in that would be, but Dany didn't die. So how could she sacrifice her life if she didn't die? I don't know. The other school of thought is that it was the baby, Mary, and Drogo that that were the sacrifices to bring these eggs to life. My only confusion with that is that it already mentioned that Rhaego was sacrificed to bring Drogo back. It was Dany that had said, "Where is Drogo? Show me what it is I have brought with my son's life." And then Drogo died. Dany killed Drogo herself in their bed, and then Mary died on the pyre. If those 3 were going to be the sacrifice to awaken the eggs, wouldn't it make more sense for them to be sacrificed all together on the pyre at the same time as the eggs, not hours beforehand or so? Those are my only that's why I'm leaning more towards that it was Mary, Drogo, and Dany's self-sacrifice. Even though she didn't die, she did attempt to give up her life for these eggs. I don't know, or maybe there's a whole other explanation. Like I said, I couldn't find anything definitive as to who exactly it was that sacrificed or what the sacrifices were to bring these eggs to life, because as I keep saying, you know, death in exchange for life. If you know the definitive answer, don't hesitate to put it down in the comments below. I would like to actually get an answer to it. I don't think it's that important. The result is what was important. But I'd like to hear what you have to say. Either way, at the end, we are gifted with these adorable, cute little dragons that are just going to bring so much love and happiness to Westeros. I can guarantee it. There is so much more obviously going on, but these are just my major takeaways from season 1, and I cannot wait to get into season 2 and see where the story takes us next. Will Dany and her dragons invade Westeros? Will we see White Walkers this season finally? Will Arya be found out at the wall and exposed for being a girl? Will she meet up with Jon? Will Sansa actually marry Joffrey? And will her life there get worse? Or will she go in the opposite direction? And will she become twisted? Will Robb and Cat be victorious in their war against the Lannisters? And will Joffrey choke on a shitty little chicken bone and die a pitiful, pitiful death? One can only hope. So with that, let's continue our journey into Westeros with season 2 of the Game of Thrones. Let's get into it. Let's go. It's Dragonstone. I do remember that from the video that I watched that was recommended to me about the history.
2 cups of wine.
2 cups? Sir Meryn helps Sir Donto celebrate my name day. See that he drinks his fill.
Gonna pour it down his gullet. Yep.
It would be bad luck to kill a man on your name day.
I'll have him killed tomorrow, the fool.
He'll make a much better fool than a knight. He doesn't deserve the mercy of a quick death.
From this day, you'll be my new fool.
Thank you, Your Grace.
My father was a traitor.
Oh.
My mother and brother are traitors too. I am loyal to my beloved Joffrey.
Poor girl.
I pissed off the edge of the wall. I slept in a sky cell. I fought with the hill tribes. So many adventures.
He has had lots of adventures.
So much to be...
Your father has named Lord Tyrion to serve as hand in his stead while he fights.
Out! All of you out!
Whoa.
Quite right. You did nothing when your son called for Ned Stark's head. Now the entire North has risen up against us.
I tried to stop it.
Did you? You failed.
Robb Stark is a child.
Who's won every battle he's fought? You love your children. It's your one redeeming quality. Starks love their children as well. And we have 2 of them.
One. Arya, little animal, she disappeared.
We had 3 Starks to trade. Father would be furious.
Oh boy.
Must be odd for you to be the disappointing child.
Shake things up, baby.
My lord, may the old gods watch over your brother and all the northern sons.
Bran getting some life lessons. I wonder if this is a lesson he's going to have to... Is this a wolf we're following? What is that? What is that? This has to be a wolf. Is this someone's dire wolf? Is that Shaggy Dog? I can't tell them apart! Who is that? Which wolf is this? Look at her! Oh, horsey! Feed it to the dragons? Oh, that's the silver? That's her horse, isn't it? Dumbass, you should know that.
We go west to the Dothraki Sea, the first Khalasar we meet. Will kill us and take your dragons.
No one will take my dragons.
They're too weak to fight. as are your people.
Eat your
You
horse.
must be their strength.
As you are mine. So koi koi.
Not gonna eat the horse, or is that like considered extremely taboo? The dragons could eat it.
Froster's daughters. He don't like people messing with his wives.
Oh, okay.
He marries his daughters, and they give him more daughters.
That's foul.
It's beyond foul. What happens to the boys? What does he do with his sons?
Who's this little girl? You're prettier than half my daughters. You got a nice wet twat between your legs. What's your name?
Jon
Not
Snow.
exactly how we pronounce it, but
Listen to
okay.
me, bastard.
Where have all the wildlings gone?
North. Join up with Mance Rayder.
He's
I've
no
heard
friend
that.
of mine.
I've heard that name
He
before.
broke his vows.
What I hear, he's already got more men than any of your southern king. When you're all the way north, there's only one direction to go.
And who is this?
For the night is dark and full of terrors. Stannis Baratheon,
Oh,
warrior of
Stannis.
light. Your sword awaits you.
Well, that's cheating. You're wearing a glove. What? What just happened? So many new players coming in.
Declare upon the honor of my house that my beloved brother Robert left.
Wasn't my beloved brother? I didn't love him. He didn't love me. A lie. Take it out.
By right of birth and blood, I do this day lay claim to the Iron Throne of Westeros.
If not Renly, your grace, join forces with Robb Stark.
Joffrey, Renly, Robb Stark, they're all thieves. They'll bend the knee or I'll destroy them.
Wow. Okay.
Shall we drink together? A cup of wine to honor the one true God.
Who is this chick? Okay, so she clearly has a resistance to poison.
Smart boy.
Very smart.
What's wrong? Don't like being called boy?
You've been defeated by a boy. Perhaps you'll be killed by
Holy
a boy.
shit. Oh, he's bad boy!
Stannis Baratheon sent ravens to all the High Lords of Westeros. The King Joffrey Baratheon is neither a true king nor a true Baratheon. He's your bastard son. I'm sending one of your cousins down to King's Landing with my peace terms.
3 victories don't make you a conqueror.
It's better than 3 defeats.
I'd be shitting your dicks right about. Oh! It's pretty brave to not be pooping himself.
Stark's youngest daughter, Arya. We can't seem to locate her.
Even brothers and sisters develop certain affections.
Wow.
Especially in
See the volumes he speaks without even saying it outright?
knowledge is power.
Seize him.
Whoa!
Cut his throat.
What? No! I mean,
Stop.
yes. No.
Oh, wait. I've changed my mind. Let him go. Step back 3 paces.
Yeah. Don't forget who it
Close
is
your
that you're antagonizing.
Power is power. Do see if you can take some time away from your coins and your whores to locate the Stark girl for me.
Wow. Wow, 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 wow.
I offer your cousins peace if they meet my terms. Release my sisters. My father's bones must be returned to us. From this time to the end of time, we are a free and independent kingdom. If the Queen Regent and her son meet them, I'll give them peace. If not, I will litter the south with Lannister dead.
King Joffrey is a Baratheon, Your Grace.
Oh, is he?
He's really come along, Rob. At least the menacing side of him has really taken a notch up.
My father has ships and men who know how to sail. He'll listen to me. I know he will.
Oh boy.
I'm not a Stark, I know that. But your father raised me to be an honorable man.
Oh,
We can
I hope
bend
he
them
did.
together.
If Theon betrays Rob,
to fight for us.
I understand you don't
I think
trust
that
Lord
will.
Greyjoy.
I don't trust
I
Lord
think that would
Greyjoy
gut
because
him.
he is not trust.
If I trade the Kingslayer for 2 girls, my bannermen will string me up by my feet.
What are we fighting for if not for them?
It's more complicated than that. You know it is.
It's the hard decisions of war, you know. Fuck, what do you do?
Tomorrow, you'll ride south to the Stormlands.
Stormlands,
He's
where
rallied
the
an army of
Baratheons are from, right?
100,000.
I do remember that
You know
from
his family.
the
I haven't
history
seen many
video.
Baratheons since he was...
If Renly sides with us, we'll outnumber them 2 to 1. We'll get the girls back. And we'll all go home. For good. We will all be together again soon, I promise.
They'll never give Jamie back to us for Sansa alone. His life is in danger.
I heard a disgusting lie about Uncle Jamie. And you?
No one believes this foul gossip.
Someone believes it. Father had other children. How many bastards does he have running?
Oh! Oh shit.
What you just did is punishable by death. You will never do it again. Never.
Wow.
She pretends she doesn't speak the common tongue so that people will think she's exotic.
She's beautiful.
She's a dumb slut, really, but made for every part.
What's happening? Oh no! 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 Look at how many did he have?
Gendry! His name was Gendry! They took him over the King's Road!
Find it.
No. Episode's going along so well, so fun, lots of intrigue, and then cap it off with killing fucking babies. Obviously, when they brought her and her child out, it clicked with me what they were doing. Rounding up the bastards and killing them all. Can't have any, mind you, none of the bastards would be able to take the throne anyway, right? Because, is that right? Bastards can't take those kind of titles. I guess trying to get rid of them is just the next best thing. So Joffrey is aware that he is who he is, or at least he's heard the rumours that he is a product of incest. He really has no claim to the throne, though that's not going to stop him now. Oh, I didn't see that ending coming at all. Like I said, the episode was going along so swimmingly. All I can picture in my head is that baby hanging upside down by its feet, and it sickens me. So many new players are on the scene now. A lot of names that it's funny, when I first started season 1 I had my book, and you know, I'd write down things as they happened in the season, write down people's names, blah blah blah, and as the season went along I ended up not needing my book anymore because I was able to, you know, remember who these people were. And now that I'm in season 2, out comes the book again and I have to write down all these new names. So we finally were introduced to Stannis. It looks like he got the letter from Ned Stark. He is now ready to take his claim of the throne. Renly, on the other hand, is also claiming to the throne, and apparently, like, just everyone wants to be the king now. So that'll be interesting. As Stannis said that he was the only one that Ned told about this incest thing, which was another stupid. I mean, I suppose he didn't want people to know about it to try and save face. Like Ned, he didn't want people to know about this incest to try and save face for who? For Robert? I don't know. But not telling anyone else apart from, you know, Cersei and Stannis. Stannis isn't going to make that same mistake. He is going to let everyone know that this is what's up. Whether or not people believe him or not, I don't know. But you know, he's made that decision to put it out there about Joffrey's actual lineage. So we have Stannis and his right-hand man Davos, and the old dude that tried to stop whatever like ceremony was going on with this chick. Melisandre is what the subtitle said that her name was. Melisandre. They haven't said her name, so I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it correctly. So she's some kind of religious advisor, it looks like. She's claimed Stannis as the warrior of light. She looks like she could have some kind of influence over Stannis, going on the beliefs side, which can push a lot of people into certain ways that you know, you could probably push him in a way that she wants. I don't know. Obviously, we're just starting out, so I don't know her at all, or any of her reasons why she's doing what she's doing. I mean, I don't even know Stannis. All I know is that he is ready to take the throne. He said that it seems he has no love for any of the other families, Lannister and Stark alike, especially the Starks, I'm guessing, because they want to be independent, and he's not going to have that. He's not going to have that kind of talk, because he is the king to Westeros in its entirety. Robb, on the other hand, sending his mother to go and try and convince Renly to join their crusade. Baelish. Now, I was worried there for a minute that when you have so much insider knowledge like Baelish does, especially about a certain person, i.e. Cersei, and someone as in such a powerful position as Cersei, she is the queen. The queen mother, the queen / the queen's mother, the queen. Do you openly and actively threaten that person to their face with the knowledge that they have about their indiscretions, knowing that with one word, two words, seize him, she could cut your throat in the street if you push her enough? Baelish says that knowledge is power, and Cersei says that power is power. Both are true, but I didn't see Cersei shitting her pants there. That came later when she slapped Joffrey across the face, which was glorious, but he is the king. She looked like she had made a big mistake, and you could see that on her face. So there's little things. We've got Jon and the Night's Watch across the wall. Met up with that absolutely sickening wanker that marries his daughters and has more daughters. And I'm guessing kills off the sons. Met up with him, and there is a army growing in the north under a Mance Raider. I have heard that name before. I can't remember much about it, but apparently they have a lot of men. Where are they going to? Where are they going to march? well, when you're as far north as you can go, there's only one way to go. So, are they going to have to go to war with these guys, or are they going to join together and go and beat the White Walkers? I don't know. We got a little bit of Gendry. Oh, breaks my heart. I just thought back to that baby again. We got a little bit of Gendry and Arya making their way up to the wall. Sansa is holding her own. She is nothing to these people, especially to Joffrey. But she does have, like, if she can say the right things in the right way, she can kind of like twist Joffrey into doing what she wants, but making him think that it's, you know, what he wants, which she made clear when she saved that guy from being killed into becoming like Joffrey's fool or jester. I'm guessing that it's what that position is going to end up being. I don't know. Perhaps death would have been better. I don't know, but yeah, there is definitely something broken at the moment inside of Sansa. Dany and what is left of her Khalasar. Do we call it her Khalasar? I mean, they've got no Khal, so Dany and her group of people crossing the desert. Now, they said that her dragons, we only got a little bit of the dragons, and only one of them. I'm guessing like one of them's going to be like the big boss dragon, and the other two dragons are going to be like the side dragons. Anyway, they're not eating, and neither are her people, so they're going to starve to death. And her horse died. The silver, I think it's called. Drogo's horse was the red. Whose is the silver? I think it's called the silver. And it's dead. The only thing I could think of is to eat that horse, unless, you know, eat that horse, feed it to her dragons, unless that is a taboo thing. I'm not sure if it is a taboo thing, because they hold their horses in such high regard. But you know, things have changed now, and people are going to die. People are going to starve. So eat that thing. And this comet, what is that? What is that representing? Is it an omen? A good omen or a bad omen? Is it the Lannister red? Does it mean that Robb Stark's going to win? Does it mean that the dragons are born? That the dragons have returned? It can mean all of them, depending on who you are, I guess. And my one favourite, absolute favourite thing this episode, one big, huge, very fluffy, very beautiful, gorgeous grey wind. So big. Those dire wolves, so big and beautiful. Anyway, we're going to leave it at that for today. Thank you for watching with me. Anything that you'd like to add to this episode only, pop it down in the comments. And we'll see you next time for more Game of Thrones. Bye.